Welcome to my version of First Things First. Nick Wright's TIERS headed into Week 17, but my TIERS are done very differently. They're also known as Lucas's Ladder because I am not trying to make any predictions. I am not using all these previous weeks. I don't care about weeks 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. None of that matters. It is strictly, what did you just do this past week? Nothing else. And we factor in quality of play, quality of opponent. What do you need? Is this game really important to you? Have you been spiraling, struggling? Have you been playing great? Is it an easy win? Just because you dominate in an easy win doesn't automatically mean you're at the top. Just because you lose a heartbreaker doesn't mean that you're automatically dropping. It's really the quality of play and how impressed I personally was. And what this does is that this actually turns into Lucas's Ladder, turns into the most unbiased, the most grounded NFL tiers in the entire world. Consistently voted the most accurate rankings consistently. Just read the comments when you're watching this video. Go read the comments and just see how everyone just says again and again and again, oh my gosh, this is so accurate. You make the best list. Oh my God, please keep making more. Please don't stop. Please keep making more. And so here we are yet again with another edition of my version of Nick's TIERS, also known as Lucas's Ladder. So let's jump right into it. At the way bottom, we got a dog dressed in some construction gear, and we got these three iconic teams. All of these three teams at one point of the season were just chested out. We're going to win the Super Bowl. The Ravens, apparently, I didn't know this, were favored to win the Super Bowl going into this season. And even myself, after that Week 1 loss, I was like, I feel better about the Ravens than I do the Bills. I was like, I have more confidence in the Ravens than I do the Bills. I do not have that anymore. Like the Dallas Cowboys, you guys remember this wasn't that long ago. They were the most dangerous team in the NFL, and Jerry Jones was the wizard. He's like, we don't need Micah. We're going to get this guy and that guy and this guy, and Dak's the MVP. Things have fallen very quickly. They took a turn for the worst. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers also were clearly the most dominant, best team in the history of the NFL. I mean, those first 4, 5, 6 weeks, I mean, like, who cares? They lost the Philadelphia Eagles, but boy, did they beat the Falcons. I mean, come on, man. They beat the Falcons. That was an impressive win. They beat the Falcons. Baker Mayfield was the Super Bowl MVP. He skipped the regular MVP. He just jumped to the Super Bowl MVP. Better than Josh Allen, better than Stafford, better than Jalen Hurts, better than everyone. Bonafide top quarterback in the NFL, MVP frontrunner, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Super Bowl frontrunners, struggling to beat Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. So, at this point with those three teams, I literally rather have a dog dressed in construction gear, laying down some cement than trust any of these three teams to do anything football related. And now the next step on the ladder, we got the Texans, we got the Bills. It's just a little wind and rain. There's two main reasons why you should love these two teams and why you could feel true confidence and excitement and belief that you can win, and that is Josh Allen, and the Houston Texans defense. But now the Houston Texans, the Raiders have been a team that everyone just absolutely dominates and beats up on. And you literally almost lost this game. Like, this was a game that I didn't get a chance to watch live. And so I see the score in the corner when I'm watching the other games, and I'm like, I know I'm going to go back and watch this game, but and a lot of times I try to avoid having it spoiled because I like to just kind of watch it through fresh eyes. But sometimes it's nice to actually know what the outcome is, because then you get to really look at and be like, how did this happen, right? Like, how did the Texans not blow out the Raiders? And so this is one of those instances where it's an advantage to kind of know the outcome before you watch the game. And it was just like, what's going on here? This is the Las Vegas Raiders. Your offense should look elite. Your defense should look elite. I don't care what injuries, what issues you got going on, what random fluke plays, should be nothing but domination. And it's like, come on, man. And the Buffalo Bills, I know the Browns and Myles Garrett, and listen, Josh Allen did roll an ankle. and all that type stuff, but like, you know, wasn't the highest quality of games. And you'll watch a game like this and you just think you watch for both these teams and you just think, man, this defense needs to be elite for us to do anything in the playoffs. And you watch the Bills and you go, man, Josh Allen needs to be an absolute monster for us to do anything in the playoffs. And it's like, those two things are their own monsters in their own right, but it's a little uncomfortable, It just is. And then we got these five Big Daddy teams today. Has been rough. Listen, I'll start with the Lions and the Colts because those are two teams that are on the brink of not really having much to play for, but they brought it, man. They really, really did. The Detroit Lions, like, this was such a bummer because it was such an awesome game, and and I'm watching that game, and I was like, I want to see the Steelers succeed. I want to see the Lions succeed. Listen, the older I get, the more I'm like, kumbaya, like, just can everyone win? And I'm just like, I was like so on the fence where I'm like, how do I want this outcome? And I was actually really bummed that it was then kind of like, where like the Lions just score a touchdown, then it's over. Like I was like, I kind of want it to be like tied 2-point conversion, whatever it is. But I mean, the Lions just play like we overuse like, oh, this team plays with such heart, such intensity. I mean, the Lions really did. They really did. They didn't run the ball for whatever reason, but they really did. And I just respect it. Same thing with the Colts. Phillip Rivers out there, man. I just got nothing but respect for that. I really, really do. We can say it's like an easy thing for Phillip Rivers because like he's an NFL athlete and this or that. It's like, what does he have to lose? Like he's got a lot to lose, man. He could embarrass himself. He could look foolish and he's out there balling. He played really well. He has 2 interceptions in those games and it's just like they're down and he just has to force the ball. Like they're not really his fault, honestly. He played great. I mean, he really, really did. He played better than the vast majority of other quarterbacks this season. He hung 27 points on the 49ers. But the 49ers could not be stopped defensively and, disappointing for the Colts, but I, I just respect it so much. And then we'll go to the Broncos. This was hardly their best game. I do think this loss and the gap between them, the 14-point loss, you had a couple of events throughout the course of the game that really had devastating consequences that the Broncos were just not able to overcome. And the reality is that the Jaguars were essentially flawless in that game. And so that gap then got even more, got even greater. But I mean, this was hardly their best game. Hardly did they execute at the level that they needed to. But I mean, it was a rough game, rough day for them. But I think it is somewhat slightly overblown. And then and honestly, I wanted to put these two teams. I wish I had the ability to make it a little bit easier. And also so everyone can see it at once, but I really would love to put the Packers and the Rams in their own category. Because they both were part of 2 of like the craziest games you could ever imagine, both losing in heartbreak fashion. And yet throughout the course of this game, I live streamed the Rams Seahawks game and, watched the Packers game alone in this chair. I have no friends and family. No. But I had very similar feelings. I was so blown away by Malik Willis and the Green Bay Packers and the coaching and the execution. I was so blown away. Matt LaFleur and Malik Willis were literally going to take down the Bears on the road and outplay Caleb and Ben Johnson. It was extraordinary. It was amazing. And it was just Matt LaFleur's balance with Malik Willis, kind of knowing when to put him in the position to make a big throw, when to have him use his legs, run the ball. Like, it was beautiful. It was perfect. Not too conservative, not weirdly aggressive, because we're like, hey, they're going to expect us to not, to be conservative, so we're just going to throw the ball over the top. We're just going to let it rip. Like, it was so smart, so perfect. And then it just took an absolute nosedive. Face mask on a 3rd and forever. Blown coverage on the touchdown to tie it, and then, or not to tie it. Well, yeah, it was to tie it, but before that, blow the onside kick. And then the fumbled snap, or I'm not sure if it was a fumbled snap, wherever the fumble then landed on the 4th and 1. You're just like, oh my God, like you blew it. You absolutely blew it and you had it. And and you should have won that game. And the Rams an absolute coaching masterpiece as well, and just execution at the highest level. Sean McVay making life easy for Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford making every throw that is asked of him, and Puka and company making every single catch. That run game in the beginning, they were smart. They were running. I mean, they rushed for nearly 100 yards in that first half. And I was ripping the Seahawks. Like, what are you doing? Look what the Rams are doing here, right? And they used that run to set up the pass every single time. And it was just success after success after success after success after success. It was a masterpiece. And then the defensive masterpiece, really making life brutally difficult for Sam Darnold, taking away the run game. Every receiver was tightly contested, forcing a fumble on Kupp. The one interception where he faked to be in man, and then got dropped back and got the interception was just gorgeous. It was just, again, it was a Shula and McVay masterpiece, and then it all went terribly wrong, right? And then you couldn't scheme guys wide open, and then it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Special teams, I think that coordinator now just got fired. Missing field goals. Sam Darnold slinging it, making some elite passes, some elite catches with Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba. It was, 3 2-point conversions. Obviously the one was fluky, but the other two were, hey, they were totally fair game. And yeah, it went from coaching masterpiece, brilliant win for both those teams, the Packers and the Rams, to just what the heck, like literally what did I just witness? Wild, 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 wild. And then we got a heavy tier here. Today's forecast, 100% chance of winning. These 6 teams, based off of my interaction with the fan bases, these 6 teams truly believe that they are like we are winning this Super Bowl. Do not count us out. We are there. The Bears fully believe it. The 49ers believe it. The Eagles believe it. The Panthers even believe it. The Seahawks believe it. And, right, some of these teams obviously 100% rightfully so. Like, this is not me saying that they shouldn't believe it. And the Patriots, and they all have great reasons to feel great about this, about this past weekends of game. But at the same time, they also, and the reason why they're not at the top, because one, I can't put everyone at the top. I like to be, a little bit harsher for these rankings and, hold teams' feet to the fire. The Bears, again, they really they executed when they needed to. Incredibly impressive. But they had every right to lose that game and to lose to Malik Willis and Matt LaFleur at home. They had every reason to lose that game. The 49ers, Brock Purdy, that was great. It was against Phillip Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts. It's okay. Same thing with the Eagles. Really impressive game. I loved what I saw out of their game plan. They're continuing to do different things than what they did. They're actually trying to solve the problems that they had throughout the course of the season, rather than just, closing their eyes and sticking their fingers in their ears, just hoping that everything just gets better. And so I really appreciate that. Obviously it was against the Commanders and against a third-string quarterback, but I care less about that because I'm looking at it more from the offensive perspective. The Carolina Panthers, big win. It was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who kind of circling the drain, but that they deserve all the credit in the world if they come away with the division. Massive credit to them. The Seattle Seahawks, they were being thoroughly worked and outcoached, and they did need, 3 2-point conversions. They gave up a touchdown in overtime as well. Missed field goal. Sam Darnold, the 2 interceptions. You feel awesome about that game, and it was insane, but you also oh man, I don't know how anyone could feel confident about, if the Rams and the Seahawks played each other again, where you were just yep, Seahawks are going to win 14. To what it's I don't know, man. Both these games when they played each other are just wild. So that's why, they're in that level as well. Um, and then you have the Patriots. Um, Drake May was obviously not perfect in that game, but the dude was also perfect at the same time. Um, I I know he had the fumble. I know he had the interception. Uh, but like, I really just chalk that up to just like, those things are bound to happen when you're the quarterback. It's just unfortunate that it did. The Ravens are a big mess. Literally just deciding to not give the ball to Derrick Henry. They're also circling the drain and a bit of a mess. The Patriots took advantage of that, but still seeing Drake May, Diggs and company I just think they're playing at such a high level. Um, and so, here you go. Today's forecast, 100% chance of winning. And then at the tippy top of Lucas's ladder, this is beast mode. These three teams, at the end of the day, these three teams impressed me the most for various reasons. Um, and that's why this is beast mode. This is madness. No, this is Sparta. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing awesome. I think all three of these teams are playing their best football right now, and we arguably got their three best games of the season. And it matters right now. I mean, at the point of the season where you're like, if you're playing your best football right now, like why can't you continue to play your best football over these next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, right? Or, whatever the exact timeline ends up being. Probably not 6 weeks, whatever it is. I guess if you're in the Super Bowl, then yes, but the Steelers, I mean, I just absolutely positively loved what I saw out of them. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is in such control of that offense. When I forget who it was, someone was running. It's really funny. I saw the video of it. Someone was running in the wrong direction, in motion, and Aaron just like yells at him like while at the line of the scrimmage, like, "What are you doing?" And it's just like, that's how like it's funny because you can like kind of laugh at that or just be like, "Oh, this is unorganized, whatever." But it's like that's how in control Aaron is. You see a lot of other quarterbacks when like that happens and they're like, it's they'll rather yell or they're kind of just like they're now thrown off by it. Like it kind of just derails it. But Aaron is just so in control. This defense now is also playing at such a high level. That Lions offense is for real. No matter who's coaching, no matter who's calling the plays, they always are in a position to do damage. And that Steelers defense now is looking legit. Aaron is comfortable. I I just how can you not be impressed by what they're doing? The Jacksonville Jaguars, man, like I said earlier and when I was talking about the Denver Broncos, they were literally flawless. I mean, they were literally flawless every time they needed to make a big play. Whatever in the moment of the game that called for it, they just did it. They need a big throw, they got a big throw. Did they need a big catch? They got a big catch. They need a big throw and a big catch at the same time. They got it. Right. When there was moments that the Broncos absolutely could have shifted the momentum, got a big stop, forced a punt, it was like just about to happen and the Jags were like, "No, no, we have an answer. We can go off script. We can do what we need to do." And it was a thing of beauty. I mean, it was near flawless football and it was against a great opponent. Like that's the thing too. Great opponent on the road. Um and then you have the Jags, normally I would knock the Jags. The J, excuse me, the Jags. You have the Chargers. Normally I would be in a position to kind of knock the Chargers because it was against the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Cowboys are, indeed the Dallas Cowboys. But the reality is that throughout the whole course of the season, Justin Herbert has been getting lit up. It's been a struggle for them to keep this team afloat right now. And they had also a flawless game against the Dallas Cowboys. Um, that defense, took over that second half for the Cowboys, and Justin Herbert, really balled. Like he was comfortable seemingly for the first time all season long, right now. And you see a game like that, and you're like, we get more games like this. Like we are in business. We are in business. I would say that these three teams, people don't have a ton of trust in them. They don't really think the Jags are for real. They think the Steelers are a first round exit. And same thing with the Chargers. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know, like if anything, these two team you know, the Chargers and the Steelers. It's like if you're depending on what lens, you know, what side you're looking at it through, you're like that's your best chance to win a game, right? That's your best chance to win a playoff game because like you're not beating the Bills, you're not beating the Patriots, you're not beating the Broncos, the Jags, etc. It's like, but you know, hey, the Steelers can beat the Chargers because the O line is so messed up, and it's like, hey, the Chargers could beat the Steelers, and you know they already beat the Steelers, but it's like, you know, Aaron Rodgers is old, and that defense will be able to swallow him up, and you know, but yet all these teams are playing great right now, so you know, got to give credit where credit is due, and yeah, I really just stuck with the teams that actually matter right now and the teams that are flirting with the playoffs or right on the cusps. But, you know, also kept the Dallas Cowboys in there um, just because, you know, 30 years, they almost won the Super Bowl. 30 years straight, they almost got to the NFC Championship game. They didn't quite get there, but for the last 30 years, they almost won the Super Bowl. That's really impressive. 30-0 at almost winning the Super Bowl. I mean, I feel like we compete with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we played them. I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy right now. So credit to them. They've earned and they deserved it by all means. But yeah, very close, especially when you even watch the NFC game, the NFC Championship, and those two teams that we battle against each and every year a couple of times. And as I said, feel confident about we've gotten a better part each and every time to see them to see it in such a dominating fashion. Credit to them. It's our turn and it's on us. Maybe next year, I don't know. But I mean, you know, he was confident that he was facing the Rams in the NFC Championship game. We'll meet you all in the NFC Championship game. Harry's like, yeah, man, he's like, yeah, sure. Let's do it, bud. Yeah, yeah, sure. Sure, sure. Man, 300 is impressive. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, but that's Lucas's ladders, my version of Nick's tiers. Um, what do you guys all think? How do you all feel about these rankings? Again, I should have emphasized this 22 minutes ago. Uh, this is not to say that the Steelers are better than the Rams or that the Panthers are better than the Broncos. It's not what it is. That's not what it is. Some people still don't seem to understand that. No matter when I say it, whether I say it in the very beginning, whether I say it at the end, whether I scream it, it's just kind of how it all unfolded specifically this past week. Not using the past and the quality of the season at large, just how you played, how the game unfolded, what did it matter, you know, how you know, just how did it unfold, and keeping kind of a loose grasp on the spawn concept and what was impressive, what was not impressive. So you know, I mean, yeah, you know, it's the way the ladder is unfolded, unraveled, brought up. You know, when you like have the ladder and you like push it out. You know, it's the way it is. That's the way how the ladder got pushed out today. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here. And I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time. Oh.